If you had a year left, what would you do differently? No, seriously, you need to start thinking about these things. The truth is that none of us know how much time we have left. So we just keep putting things up. We keep putting things off. We keep living day by day doing the same thing, especially in the Western world where everything is routined. We do the same thing every single day. If you've been waiting to start that house, fix that relationship, fix that marriage, say sorry to your children, fix whatever relationship it is you have, to start a dream, travel the world, or to take a leap of faith, I'm hoping this is going to be your wake-up call. Because what if this was your last month, your last hour on earth? Would you still be putting things off? Would you still be willing to take action, or you wouldn't do anything? I don't know if you've been to the hospital recently or you've been to the morgue. A lot of us need to rethink the way we live life. Honestly, it sounds very gloomy, and the irony of it is that I'm filming this on a very gloomy day with gloomy weather in the UK. But the idea is that too many of us live like we have all the time in the world, and yet we don't. I'm hoping that this is a reminder for us to stop waiting and just start living, start doing the things that make us happy, because the economy is not smiling, it's never going to smile. If you have a frank conversation with your parents, they will let you know that while sometimes we're better than others, life has always been like that. Life has always been life-in. While we're getting stuck in routines that don't bring us fulfillment or don't bring us joy, while we're telling ourselves that someday we will be happy, why? When that day is not guaranteed. I'm watching a lot of content by people who are retired, those who either chose to retire or those who were forced to retire. And you kind of think, I'm seeing the same theme across, that content. And it's just sad, because it's wonderful that they're sharing their stories with us, but I think the reality of it is beginning to hit me. Women in our 40s, we're not thinking about these things. We think we've got all the time in the world, while we haven't. We will clock 50, we'll clock 60. These years are not around the corner. They're less than 20 years for some of us. You think you will always love your job? Do you really think you will always love your job and you will do this job till you retire? People are being forced out of their jobs. The national insurance has shot up, and now companies are being forced to lay people off. This is the UK, by the way. I don't know how it is in the States, but why are we giving all this time away when we could be building our own lives? We could be building a wonderful life for ourselves, for our family, for our loved ones. What if we started to live like there was actually time on our side? What would we create in that time? And I think part of the content pillars on my channel is documenting our lives while we're making this money on YouTube. We don't really want to start waiting for permission in order to do something. If it's on your heart to do, take action. Every moment you spend hesitating is a moment that you're losing, and you'll never ever gain it back. I thought long and hard about it, and I thought, how does one start to live now? How can we start to make that change, particularly for women over the age of 40? So I have a few ideas, and I've gone to do research. I've spoken to a few people as well. I think the first tip is that we want to stop procrastinating. So if there's a particular project that you've been thinking about doing, even if it's at work, then make it a goal and start it today, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I'm not proclaiming doom and gloom on anybody who's watching this. I'm just letting you know that the longer you live it, the more difficult it becomes. Aging is a natural part of the process. Everybody will age. And with aging comes some shocks that becomes reality. The body that we're carrying about ages, and no matter what, the mind stays young, but the body has to age. So if there is something you've been putting off for a very long time, I would say take today and start it. If it's a book you've been willing to write and hoping to write, why don't you start it? I also have an idea that a lot of people can write their own autobiography, which a lot of people aren't doing. There are lessons in so many of our lives that we're not sharing. I was listening to a podcast yesterday where the gentleman said he fell down, he collapsed, he had a cardiac arrest, and if he hadn't been taken to hospital 5 minutes later, he would have died. So he has taken the time with all the money that he has made. He's taken the past 18 months, he's written 8 books because he wants to die empty. He wants to give the world everything that is inside of him. Number 2 is you want to prioritize what matters to you. Love more, worry less. Skip what you classify as junk that is not good for your body, because it's the only body that we've got. Are you keeping it active? I see that particularly women over the age of 40, we have a habit of fixing everybody else without fixing ourselves. Love. Love as much as you can. Love as much as you want. Love hard. Love simply, because loving is beautiful. Just do it. Take more risk, because the more risk that you take, the more your fear will fade away. Regrets tend to last forever. That's why on people's sick bed, they tend to have a lot of I shoulda. We don't want to live a life where we're living, oh, I wish I had done that. I wish I had done this. It was on my mind, just like everybody else, to create a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel and start talking. But within me, I came up with a lot of excuses not to start. And now that I have started, I'm finding that it's easier for me to articulate my thoughts and to craft my thoughts into more concise and, succinct way. And I'm looking around because the weather is just gloomy. Then number 4 is say what needs to be said and just keep your peace. Because the longer you keep it, you will let it brew, or you'll stew over it. I don't know the right word, but yet. Don't leave important words unspoken. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. We're not living in the dark ages of our parents who lived together and never heard each other say, I love you. Tell your children you love them. If you do love them, they need to know. If there's a co-worker who can be a friend to you, everybody's saying, oh, your co-workers, your colleagues are not your friends. If you have co-workers who are good and they are friends, they can be your friend. Ask them if they would like to be your friend. And don't just ask because you want them to be your friend, because you're not going to be a friend back. It takes 2 to tango. So say what needs to be said and move on. But while you're saying what needs to be said, please be considerate, be kind. You don't know what people are going through. So say it from a point of understanding, from a point of compassion. And the 5th is, I want you to be present. I want to enjoy the little things. I'm hoping you can too. So I'm sharing this with you. If it resonates, then it resonates. The little things are what life is made of. So find your own little things and try and make the most of them. Be present, live in the moment, so to speak. I want you to stop waiting and start doing, because clarity comes from doing. I want you to build deeper connections with people. It does help, even in your work, your 9 to 5. And I'm going to do another video about that. There's so much in our 9 to 5 that we take for granted. We could be making money from our 9 to 5s, but that is a video for another day. All I'm saying is that we need to start feeling alive instead of just existing. We need to start living. We need to start thriving instead of striving constantly, because life will always be lifing. That is what life is all about. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just the way it is, But also we want to leave regrets behind. If there's anything that you feel that you regret not doing, not saying, not taking action on, now is the time. They say the best time to plant a tree was last year. The next best time is today. So you want to start taking and embracing opportunities as they come, but you have to be positioned in order to take the opportunities. And those opportunities that you see, they're like buses. You have to go to, you need to go to the bus stop in order to catch a bus. If you're not there, you can't catch the bus. I'll leave that for another day again. I ramble on. But, what is the one thing that you've been putting off? For me, it's been creating content. For me, it's been thinking about retirement. For me, it's been looking after myself. And I want to start doing that a lot more. If this video has spoken to you, Please do share your own ideas, because I think this is how we can learn. This is how we can better understand each other. This is how we can create communities that looks after one another. And I hope we're starting it early. I really do hope we're starting it early.